G'day world, Chris Hogan coming to you live for Beach City Life on Facebook, and we're here at the pop-up entrepreneur event at the Capitol here in Queen Street in Brisbane, and I have with me Nick Molnar, co-founder and CEO of Afterpay. How you going, Nick?
Very good, thanks for having me.
Thanks very much for coming, Nick, and Nick's about to go downstairs and do another interview, so we're going to be quick. Nick, what's Afterpay?
So what Afterpay is, it's an online and in-store payment system. So essentially the way it works, it's like a reverse lay-by. So if you have a $200 dress, rather than spending $200, the customer pays 4 payments of $50. So payment every 2 weeks. We pay the retailer straight away and we assume all the risk. So it's an awesome value proposition for our customers. The flexibility and affordability has just driven huge advocacy.
Can I buy a Ferrari?
No Ferrari. Maximum order value of about $1,000. So we're kind of life's little luxuries or necessities is how we think about it. Wouldn't classify a Ferrari as a luxury or necessity. Well, a luxury, not a necessity.
Excellent. So why did you start Afterpay? Did you understand that your customer needed this, and who is your customer?
Yeah, so I came from a retail background. So when I was at uni, I sold the most jewellery on eBay in the country out of my bedroom, and essentially just understood that conversion was a big problem for retailers. So generally 97 out of 100 visitors to a website don't buy. So just trying to focus on how we can increase conversion rate for retailers. So we have 2 customers. We have retailers and consumers. We now have over 6,000 retailers on the platform, and we have over 800,000 consumers.
Is that global?
Just in Australia at the moment. So we expand out to New Zealand in the next little while. So this quarter we'll be in New Zealand, which is really exciting. We announced a partnership with TradeMe, so very excited to offer our customers in New Zealand who have been highly in demand of Afterpay the service shortly.
Excellent. So how did you fund Afterpay?
Well, initially, me and my co-founder, a guy named Anthony Eisen, funded it. We got it to a level where we could just see the value proposition and the customer advocacy, and then we raised our first round of funding about 2 years ago. We had less than 10 retailers and a couple thousand customers, so we raised $8 million then. As of today, we've raised about $70 million of equity. We've raised $200 million of debt from NAB, which is unbelievable, and we're listed on the Australian Stock Exchange.
What's your experience with raising capital? Is it an enjoyable experience? What's your message to people going through that?
Yeah, well, it's an essential component of building a business, well, depending on what business, but at the end of the day, I think it's about finding the right partners. What we were really fortunate in was finding strategic investors that believed in what we were doing, but were very close to the retail market, to the technology space, and just were supportive as we kept growing. We've gone through hyper growth, so it's really important to have the right investors. It is my biggest piece of advice. And
hyper growth doesn't really happen organically, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really happen organically, but bizarrely, we've spent like nothing on marketing. So, we bring live a few thousand customers a day now, which is unreal. But I think it's about how you build a self-fulfilling network, which is key. And when it becomes self-fulfilling and you reach that tipping point, it really starts to flow.
Sure. So what was the competitive landscape like when you were starting? You're saying that you haven't had to do any marketing, so just wondering what the competition looks like.
Yeah, so it was all pay now competition when we got. What I mean by pay now, it's just your normal transaction methods. Our biggest competitor is the lay-by. It's the offer that the retailers currently offer their customers. So from a customer's perspective, they don't like it because they'd prefer to take the product home and wear the dress on the weekend. And the retailer's perspective, they'd rather the customer take it. They don't need to store it or take care of any of that administration or financial reconciliation. So it was largely underserved, and there wasn't much choice or flexibility for Australian consumers. So we just saw the opportunity and ran really, really hard.
Cool. What's it look like now, competition?
Look, as you grow and as you reach more scale, there's more and more people kind of popping up all the time. The benefit of us is that we are a retail solution, and most products in the market have generally come from finance backgrounds. So we're unashamedly customer centric. We don't charge our customer, we make our money from our retailer. I know that sounds really simple, but shifting the economics in favour of the customer is really powerful, and maintaining a true retail focus is important. So look, you never are complacent and you're always paranoid and you don't really sleep, but at the end of the day, I just think you need to focus on what you're good at and stay really focused.
Excellent, Nick. So what's the future of Afterpay look like? What's scale look like for you?
look, I think there's huge headroom for us to grow here and in international markets like New Zealand. In-stores are a really big focus for us. So traditionally we've been an online product. We've now started to scale in-store. So we launched our mobile app about 6-8 weeks ago, and within 24 hours we hit #1 in the whole app store in Australia. So for us, it's about how we can help our retail partners scale in-store, and at the end of the day, 90% of retail is done in-store, so there's a really big opportunity for us to leverage that network.
It's been a wild ride. I understand you started in 2014, is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So hard to say if you were going to experience this again. Give yourself a call in 2014, not that long ago. Is there anything you'd do different?
There's a lot I would do different, but one thing that I would do the same, if that's maybe a different way to answer it, is we grew really fast, but our team grew really slowly. Like, we hired incredible people, but at a pace that we made sure we were getting the right people in, and the culture then becomes very self-fulfilling because good people only want to work with good people. So I think that, to me, has been the biggest learning. In hindsight, well, when we were going through it, there's a bit of pain because everyone's doing a lot more than their job description probably says, but in hindsight, I think it was the best thing we ever did.
Great. Thanks very much, Nick. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We're at the pop-up entrepreneur event at the Capitol. If you're not here, well, keep watching and commenting on facebook.com/Beach City Life. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks.